Hello everyone, I'm RecB5.
Sand.
And your mic is muted, Sandman.
Whoops, and my mic was muted.
There you go.
There. Now I'm Sandman 99.
Yep.
And we're back with a little bit more kind of lighthearted fun with Chef Perry.
Indeed.
And in the last episode, which you weren't here for, Chef Perry went on a brief quest looking a couple of places for his actual legendary chef's smock and chef's hat.
Ah.
So he's got a chef's hat now that reduces action point costs and VATs by 10%.
Nice.
And his chef's smock slows time during combat if he's reduced to less than 20% health. So there we go. And of course these are also somewhat more armored than normal items.
Yep.
And they will eventually accept ballistic weave when Chef Perry gains the ability to do that. And we followed Paladin Dance through Arcjet, and then Paladin Dance gave us Righteous Authority.
Nice.
Which kind of goes nicely with Chef Perry's hat, right? If
Yep.
we're going to be using VATs at all. Of course, I'm a little short on resources right now, so I wasn't able to upgrade it much, but I changed it from a rifle to a pistol. And not entirely sure why, because I don't have any weapon perks yet at all. Just gained a level up, actually. And I took rank 3 of sneaking, so I no longer trigger enemy mines. I can actually jump up and down on them like this if I want to, or, you know, like put them under my mattress or whatever, and they won't go off, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm completely proof against accidental death by mine now.
Especially when there's 2 or 3 or 4 of them side by side.
Yeah, those are some nasty random traps sometimes. And that's actually one of the leading causes for character death in my games. Is, you know, like you're walking along on a side street somewhere, and suddenly you hear beeping, and when you run forward, you actually run forward onto 2 more mines that will get you instead, right?
Nice work,
Yep.
sir. I didn't do it alone. Aylin, Rys, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon team. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Yeah.
I'm only in it for the spiffy uniforms.
Oh yeah? And here I thought you joined up for a sense of purpose and meaning.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
Let's just hug this out and get it over with. What do you say?
You can play it however you want, tough guy. It's gonna take a lot more than completing one mission to impress me.
Rys, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks,
I love how Paladin Dance's eyes look. He's got that concussion look in his eyes, right? Okay.
Understood.
Outstanding. Since I know you're eager to get started, I'll get right to the point. I only ask for 2 things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. Now, before I release you to Aylin and Rys for your assignments, there's one last order of business. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Initiate. This is only a training rank. I'm not permitted to grant ranks any higher than that.
Okay, sure.
Fair enough.
Outstanding, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Initiate.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halen.
Ad Victoriam means to victory. In our eyes, defeat is unacceptable, because we're fighting for the future of mankind. Our rallying cry is more powerful than any weapon you could ever carry. Remember that. Now, I need you to report to Halen or Rys for your next assignment. Dismissed, soldier.
Okay. Well, we'll report to both Rys and Halen.
You...
Alright, out with it.
Oh yeah, by the
What's your
way,
game?
we're hammered as usual.
Of course.
Yeah.
Game? What do you mean?
I can usually size people up at a glance, but you're different.
No
Bugging the
shit.
heck out of me. You're not the military type. You're a loner. So I can't figure out why you're sticking around. You got what you wanted, so why don't you hit the road?
I want to help people.
Well, as far as reasons go, that's a pretty good one. Look, I'm gonna cut you some slack because Dance trusts you. But if
You'll
you step
notice
out of
that
line and
the
put any of my brothers
looking
or
for my
sisters in
son
danger,
line
I'll
wasn't
make
there
sure you
because
regret it.
Chef Perry
So, ready for
didn't
your
start
assignment,
in the
hero?
Vault 111, right?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
Ready.
Then listen up. Like it or not, one of our most important duties is to keep the Commonwealth clear of the trash. I'm talking about mutants, ghouls, synths. The abominations the damn eggheads caused when they started playing with their toys. This op is simple. I'm gonna send you to a target, and you're gonna terminate everything that calls it
At
home.
College
All
Square.
the details you need are right here. Don't come back until the job's done.
Yeah, see? It's always College Square. The first time around. Let's talk to Scribe
He's
Halen
still
now.
giving you the cold shoulder.
I can handle it.
If you could, you'd be the first. Rys bleeds brotherhood. It's all he cares about. It's his family. It's his whole life. If anything else comes into the picture and gets in the way, he shoves it aside.
Okay, well, let's see if we can pass a...
Is there something between the two of you?
When I first joined up,
Oh, look at that.
Rys is
Oh,
the one
wow.
who sponsored me.
It must be the liquor.
Commander's wing.
Probably.
Showed me the ropes. I thought there was a little more between us, so I asked him if he cared about me that way. He told me the Brotherhood
So
of
does that
Steel
mean
was
I have
all
a
that he
chance
cared
there,
about.
Halen?
And there was no room for anything else in his life. We never spoke about it again. Look, I need to get back to things. If you're worried about Rys, just keep doing what you're doing. He'll come around soon enough. So, are you ready to take on your first assignment?
You bet.
Ready.
Great. Let me explain what I need you to do. One of the Brotherhood's most important duties is the recovery and preservation of technology that was lost when the bombs fell. I have a list of locations that contain artifacts we need you to recover in order to have them cataloged and studied by our scribes. Here, this should cover all the information you'll need to find your first artifact. Good luck, and be careful.
Okay. At Backstreet Apparel. Okay,
Where
well,
I
that's
come
pretty
from, you
handy.
get orders, you carry them out. Now move it.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. We can actually do that one. She isn't trying to send us to Far Harbor right away, like what happens sometimes with that Radiant Quest thing.
Oh man, that was a hell of a fight, wasn't it?
Well, I suppose it's always random, right?
Yeah, but apparently that is a unintended result. You know, like that random location, especially if it's early enough in the game that
Nice try,
you
Rys.
aren't
Nice
actually
try.
going anywhere near Far Harbor yet.
Oh, maybe she just doesn't
If
like
you find
you.
any technical documents, hang on to them. They might prove useful once reinforcements arrive.
Are you kidding? I'm Chef Perry. Everybody likes me.
Yeah, if they don't like you, they get a whiff of what's on your breath, and then they really like you, right?
Oh, I've got a red thing there going on too. Oh, nicotine addiction. So I need to have a smoke too at some point. Yes, Chef Perry, dedicated scientist and chef and alcohol aficionado. Another cigarette there. Okay, well.
Well, at least you found your fix.
Yeah. Well, I think I've commented before on how amazing it is that there's more cigars and cigarettes in this world than I'll ever be able to smoke.
Still here? Damned if I know what top season you.
Well, I'm kind of busy looting this place right now, if that's okay with you. Because all these items will come in handy later.
Don't
I don't
think I can
can.
pick this.
Yeah, I can't open that yet, but I can grab all this other stuff. Come back and pick the lock on that later when I have the ability to pick locks. I don't think I can pick any locks at all right now. Yeah, that's one thing I've found about alternate starts is that because you usually start off in an area that's really, really over leveled.
Yep.
You tend to neglect some of the things like the lock picking and the hacking and that kind of thing because you need to focus more on
Things to keep you alive.
things that are going to keep you alive, right? So, you know, things like Lone Wanderer, for example. Right?
Yeah, with the big reduction in damage.
Yeah, and Gun Nut is pretty important. And also with my perk system that my perk overhaul, little perk overhaul I did. Blacksmith is a very important basic skill, right? Because instead of finessing workbenches and things into being by getting local leader, you actually have to have some skill in blacksmith to be able to build any, you know, like workstation, like weapons workbenches or armor workbenches or what have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first basic skill is blacksmith, and then you need another skill that relates to whatever workbench it is. So, you know, like gun nut for weapon workbench and armorer for armor workbench, right?
Excuse me, sir.
So you don't need local leader, but you do need usually 2 skills in order to be able to build a particular type of workbench.
Yeah.
I've made up my mind. No more
Which I think is a more balanced and more logical approach to the whole, you know, crafting thing, right?
Yeah, as we've discussed before in the G9-13 playthrough.
Yeah.
Hello, team. Captain Whitmark here. Welcome to the task force. Operation Winter's End starts now, with you. Together, we will knock Eddie Winter off his throne and dump his sorry ass in a 2,000 gold easy chair. It should come as a surprise to no one that our operations in Boston have been, in a word, compromised. Winter has eyes everywhere, even the BPD. So, our brothers across the river in Cambridge have been kind enough to let us use the Cambridge Police Department as our base of operations. Let's get to work. Good hunting.
Yeah. But I can still hack novice level terminals, so we'll do that. Holbrook sedition logs. Log entry, pamphlet, your rights at work. Pamphlet, you unionized today. Okay. So, I guess he was trying to unionize some workers and got arrested for sedition.
Well, they would be extremely anti-union in this extremely radical society, right?
Yeah. Public intoxication. Okay. Winter holotape logs. So it looks like now we've got BAD TFL on the marked on our map. Reckless endangerment. 2 spools of 200-foot copper cable. 3 times Fission Pal home nuclear reactors. 1 times bag containing remains of TJM home stereo system. Oh, okay, so this guy was trying to make like a super powered stereo or something?
Or something.
And he got arrested for reckless endangerment.
Yeah, with the backyard, or the nuclear reactors there?
The backyard nuclear reactor to run his stereo.
You know, oddly enough, I think I remember hearing something about somebody who made a mini nuclear reactor in their backyard once on one of those crazy stories you hear.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if that was real or not, though.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah, okay. We'll have a... Do I not have any water? What the heck's going on here?
Are you lacking water?
Oh, I've got ice cold purified water. Yeah, okay. There we go. I guess we'll head out into the motor pool garage. And we'll have to pause while we're going outside.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, that was a very long load time.
Yeah, it was about 2 minutes long.
Yeah, I don't know why, but sometimes it takes longer just to load going outside than it does to load the entire game.
Even though you were just outside.
Even though I was just outside. Yeah.
I bet you it's got to be some kind of optimization issue.
Now I'm carrying too much. And I've already got grilled Rad Stag Fortify carry weight. And I've got +1 strength from Gwinnett Stout. What else can I do here? Well, we can open that box of cigars. I don't think booze stacks. So, like different kinds of liquor, I don't think they stack. Fortify health. That might maybe will. I don't know. No, but it lessened my weight by 5. Okay, I apparently don't have anything else. I'll have to have a look at the chem... Oh, no, I just picked that. I guess that was just a little bit too heavy.
You know, you could, like, drop that and then hold it and then, like, drag it back with you.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably not worth the trouble. Because, yeah, I've already got 2 of them anyways, so I think we're fine. Oh, I want those, though. So I guess we'll drop another extinguisher. Because the fuel cans, I can get a little bit of oil out of them, so they're more important right now. Hey. Oh, I must have missed. Alright, well,
you are totally wasted right now, right?
Yeah.
Can't even stand up straight to push a button.
Yeah, well, you know what? We can rush over to the Cambridge Red Rocket and chop a bunch of this junk off. And then we can come back and finish cleaning out the garage there anyway, right? Because I guess for our next mission, we need to support the Brotherhood of Steel team. And since cleansing the Commonwealth there happens to be like only 41 distance units away.
It's really close.
It's really close, so we might as well do that. What we got there? Hunter's powerful 10mm pistol. Okay. Okay, we don't really have any armor to break down here. And we can't really do anything else there, so... I guess we'll break down some of these. Okay, so I've got a Ruger Mark V I can break down. So I got Righteous Authority, a Furious Board, a boosted Institute rifle that I started the game with, dual finger guns, and the bullet time double-barreled shotgun. That's my weapon loadout for now, at least. Means we don't need those or those or those. We just need fusion cells. Wow, do I ever have a lot of fusion cells? Maybe that's why I'm so heavily loaded too. Right? Probably don't need to carry that many around. Yeah, look at that. Our weight carried just dropped.
Yep.
Because since we have the finger guns as a last resort, I don't really need to worry too much about, you know, like, oh, I had some buff tats. I could have taken those and gotten a big boost to strength if I'd have noticed them earlier.
Ah, well.
Okay, well, we got a Gwyneth Stout there. A couple of those and a couple of those. So I'm dropping all this stuff off, even though I don't have any connected settlements yet. But I'm, you know, like speculating on the idea that eventually I will have all these settlements connected to each other, and then all this stuff that I drop off, I'm basically just accumulating for use later.
Yep.
Right? Anyway, I do have... Okay, resist shock. Okay, well, okay, we'll make one of those. We don't really come across shock damage too often, but I don't have enough to make anything else there. Uh-oh. What's going on?
I don't know, but time to maybe get yourself a position to shoot from.
Yeah, there's a good position to shoot from right here, actually. And I can even, if I had a mine, If I had a mine, I could... Oh, I have a mine.
Just the one.
Yeah, but it's enough. I can drop it right there. That will help to discourage anybody that might want to come up here and harm me. So we'll get out here and we'll have a look and see if we can find out what was going on. It's a super mutant. It's some super mutants. Okay.
You're running the wrong way, buddy.
Oh well, we'll shoot this one.
Problem solved.
Well, he just stepped in that. I better take cover while I reload here.
Yeah, that was that frag mine in the distance that you could see. Now you're gonna shoot the shit out of him and he can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and he's crippled, so he can't move. You know what I really like about these guns is that they have virtually no recoil, right?
Yep.
Like even when I'm aiming through a scope like that, I can fire really fast and hit most of what I'm aiming at, right?
Yeah, well, they're kind of like assault rifles in that way, right? They're very accurate.
Well, we can do a little bit of cooking here now, too. Since that is Chef Perry's favorite activity, second only to drinking booze. Okay, well, let's see what we've got in here. I'm going to have to grab some more ammunition because I used rather more fusion cells there than I expected.
Well, they were super mutants after all.
Yeah. Okay, we'll grab about that many. That'll do. And then, maybe, what we'll do, we'll see about putting a fridge in here somewhere.
A Chef Perry fridge?
I don't know. That depends on if I have the one key component that I need for making a Chef Perry fridge. I might have to settle for making a regular fridge. And then putting a small generator somewhere in here to power it. That's under here. Yeah. Yes, I'm missing the medical liquid nitrogen dispenser thing, right?
Ah, damn.
Need one of those. But I can go into furniture miscellaneous here. And we'll just build Chef Perry a beer fridge here. So I can put my alcoholic beverages in when I find them. Where are we going to put this thing? Put it in here somewhere. Yeah, back here looks like a good place to put it. And we'll have to see if we can put some power in here too. I figured, ooh, look, I could build a large generator. As opposed to a windmill. The large generator takes a little bit more resources, but it produces twice as much power.
Yep.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll put a large generator up here. Put it about there. Because that'll still give me room to build a building over here on top of this flat surface here. And we'll get one of these things. We'll have to see if that's close enough. That's probably within range of my refrigerator, so we'll see if it is. Yeah.
Yep.
I've got power for my fridge. So that's good. So we'll go into aid here, and we got what do we got? We got a Gwyneth Stout. We got some Nuka cherries and a Nuka Cola. That's about it. Okay. Be a little bit handier if we had Chef Perry's fridge, because Chef Perry's fridge works instantaneously. But one of the things that this fridge does that Chef Perry's fridge doesn't do is it'll make ice cold Bobrov's best moonshine.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm not sure if there's a difference, like, you know, between it and the regular moonshine, but the
Who
guy
doesn't like it ice cold?
Yeah, but the guy who made the fridge mod actually made a few new items that didn't exist in the vanilla game to work with his fridge, right?
Yep. Well,
So-
and who doesn't like things that are ice cold,
But
too?
we will have to leave those things for a few minutes, because it does take a few minutes for them to chill. And it seems like it's starting to... Well, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. You wouldn't think it was that dark, but okay.
Well, I guess it's raining and then all murky and cloudy outside.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe we'll have a smoke here while we're waiting for our fridge to chill stuff.
Yeah, you gotta deal with your nicotine fixation after all.
That's right. So we'll have a smoke, and maybe I'll even have a look at this Righteous Authority laser gun and see if I can give it a bit better receiver or something so that I can do a little more damage with it.
Not a bad plan.
Because the Institute rifle I'm using has actually got a boosted capacitor or something, which allows it to do a little more damage too, right?
What made you decide to turn Righteous Authority into a pistol?
I'm not really sure.
Were you thinking, like, lightweight sidearm, or...
Tell you the truth, I think I was looking at AP cost, because pistols tend to require less AP than rifles.
Oh, okay.
And believe it or not, if you put some kind of a scope on this weapon, it actually increases the AP cost. On the other hand, if you just put like glow sights or something like that on it, well then it costs less in AP, right? Although it's also less accurate. So it's kind of a trade-off. But it looks like, before I spend a bunch on that, I'm going to see if I can... okay, beta wave boosted capacitor. I need some crystal for that, right? To give it a boosted capacitor, which gives it 11 more points of damage per shot.
Yet you're only one short.
Yeah. So I need to find something that has crystal in it. See, I could go with the stock, which increases the accuracy, but it also, you know, like I said, it also increases the AP cost for using it too.
Yep.
So if I was planning on, like, this weapon is basically tailored for use with VATS.
That's right, yep.
So I was sort of planning on using VATS more with this gun, right? And one of the things I played around with somewhere else, I guess, is, okay, so we got Righteous Authority here. We can find a valid target. Okay. So right now I can go one... Oh, okay, it's behind something. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can queue up 7 shots as a pistol, right?
Yep.
Okay. So then, if I put a rifle stock on this thing...
Oh, wrong gun.
Whoop, wrong gun. Yeah. Okay, so if I put a rifle stock on this thing, here, which I already had on it before, right? So it doesn't cost me anything to build it again. It must have been here that I was doing that tinkering. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get 2 less shots.
Yep.
Right? So it's really, if you're going to use this with VATS, it's really better as a pistol. And so if we go back here again, and we'll put our pistol grip back on. And now, let's see what happens when we use sights. So I've got a combat scope here, I got a medium scope. Okay. That doesn't really cost us too much of anything in stuff that we don't already have. So, I got the scope on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So putting a scope on it allows us 2 less shots in VATS.
Damn.
So if I go back to standard sight, well, let's go improved sights, right? That gives me a nice, like, glow sight.
Yep.
Okay. So now we'll go out here and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So with glow sights, I can get 7 shots off in VATS. So let's try putting a reflex sight on it. I'm going to spend a bunch of my resources here doing this.
Yeah, you're just demoing this.
But why not, right?
Well, you've got them, I guess. It's not terribly vital.
So we already know what happens when you put a scope on it. So let's try a reflex sight and see what that does. Oh yeah, and I should also have a drink of water here, I guess. Alright. So, now with the reflex sight on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, so that's why you would put a reflex sight on a weapon as opposed to a scope. Right? So I think we're going to go with the reflex sight because that allows us more shots in VATS, right? In fact, that allows us the most shots in VATS. Now this is the long barrel, and I don't have any fiber optics, which is basically crystal and fiber optics are the two things that I need in order to, you know, like say, put an improved short barrel. It would be interesting to see what happens if you put different barrels on this thing too, right? Because right now it has a long barrel, and I don't know if that affects the number of shots you get in VATS.
I would guess so.
Right?
I would guess so.
I know that it does affect the amount of base damage that you do, right? So a short barrel base damage is 36, a long barrel it's 39. A sniper barrel is most of all, but it also severely reduces your ammunition capacity. Right? Like, I think this gun now would only hold about 7 shots if I were to put the sniper barrel on it, right?
Yep.
And it's mainly, as you can see with the range, it's mainly for if you want to turn this thing into a long-range sniper weapon, right? Improved short barrel boosts the damage to 44, right? So it's a considerable damage boost. And the improved long barrel, it boosts the damage even more yet, right? And it looks like there's an automatic barrel and an improved automatic barrel too, as well as an improved sniper barrel. So it'll be interesting to experiment once I have the wherewithal and the skill to you know, try out these different barrels and see what it does for VATS, right? But you have to, you know, like before you make choices as to how you're going to outfit one of these guns, you have to kind of look and see what it does, right? Mm-hmm. Do a little bit of testing just to see what kind of benefits or whatever. Okay, these things are all ice cold now, so I can take them. And let's see if ice cold Bovrov's moonshine is more effective than regular Bovrov's moonshine. No, it is not.
It's just ice cold.
It's just ice cold.
It's just nice to drink.
Yeah. Okay. But the ice cold beer actually is doubled. Like, you'll notice that instead of +1 to strength, charisma, and -1 to intelligence, it's actually doubled.
Yep.
Right? And the ice cold Nuka Cherry does more healing of damage, right? And so does the ice cold Nuka Cola. They actually become pretty effective healing items, right? So there you go. So we're in good shape now. So we'll head on over to whatchamacallit here. Maybe we'll go and loot these dead super mutants first and see what they had on them. We'll take all their stuff. And we'll... It's not that they have stuff that I want to use, but I can break down their armor and stuff and make, you know, like other things out of those components, right? What am I down on now? Oh, I had a smoke, and I guess we screwed around long enough that it wore off. So now I have to have another one.
Damn, that really doesn't last too long.
No, well, I think it lasts approximately 1 in-game hour kind of thing, you know? Okay, well, we can break this stuff down a little bit. And And we can break this stuff down. As you can see, you get a lot of components from breaking down super mutant armor, right?
Indeed.
Which is why I loot super mutants every chance that I get. Because they have good stuff on them that can be, you know, useful for making other things. Okay. There we go. So, the way I usually do this for College Square is I usually clear out the surface area of the place first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll come looking through here, and I basically pick up everything I can carry until I'm full, and then I go back to the Cambridge Red Rocket and drop off all the junk that I pick up, right? Especially things like TV dinner trays that are made out of aluminum, because aluminum is a rare and useful item. So anyway, I can walk up and just dismantle and take that bottle cap now, mine, because of course I can, you know, like tap dance on mines now without setting them off. There's a good item inside that that lunchbox. Most of the time you just get useless junk out of the lunchboxes, but occasionally you can get something good like a big bottle of glue or a Nuka-Cola Quantum or something like that, right? And those lunchboxes, you know why I keep those? Because if you have the skill, you can make bottle cap mines with those being the outer shell, right?
Yep.
Okay, we'll grab all this stuff. Basically, I just grab everything because I know that if I start to get overloaded, that, you know, Red Rocket Cambridge is pretty close by, right? So we'll just get this thing out and ready to use. And you know, one thing I'm glad that I always do this with every character I play. I strive toward getting the 3rd level of sneak by the time I reach level 12, which is where you become eligible for the 3rd rank. And I consider it to be one of the most important survival characteristics in the game, right?
Yeah, just to avoid those mines.
Yeah, because you can be instantly killed by a mine, even all the way out past, like, level 20, right? So, you need to, be able to, you know, not set them off, because they tend to be placed in locations where they're not immediately obvious, and you can quite often be caught by surprise, right?
Yep.
And by the time, you know, even if you start to sprint right away, well, those things can quite often go off before you can get out of range, or when you start to run, well, sometimes they're placed in clusters, and then you could run onto another mine that you haven't even triggered yet, but it will be detonated when the first mine you triggered goes off, right?
Which will still kill you.
Which will still kill you, yeah. Okay, let's try out this VATS thing as soon as we, there. Okay, so let's shoot him in the leg. Okay, so it took 5 shots in VATS to 5 shots to the leg to kill this guy, right?
Well, you also inhibited his movement, though.
Yeah,
you didn't take any hits as a result.
On the 4th shot, I did anyway. Yeah, I mean, whenever possible, I would rather aim manually anyway. But with Chef Perry here, I think just because of the special items that he has and the way that I've done this build, we'll probably use VATS, particularly on aggressive melee enemies like this guy. He's legendary too. I wonder if he's got anything worth keeping or taking.
Maybe he'll have an energy weapon or something.
Yeah. A scattered automatic. Oh, he's got an automatic laser musket. Actually, those are like the rarest of the rare things. And you can't actually modify the automatic laser musket on the workbench at all, I don't think. It just is what it is, right?
But
we'll equip it for a second here, just so we can try it out, because this is a very rare weapon. Like, I found it occasionally with other characters too. And of course it has the beam splitter muzzle attachment on it, right? So it's going to fire multiple beams, but you know, obviously the fix that we did for shotguns also applied. We did the same fix for energy weapons too. You'll notice that the spread pattern on this is reasonably tight, right?
Yep.
And that was with an old... It's getting to be an old mod now. It was, what, 2 or 3 years ago that we put that up on the Nexus?
Yeah, it was a while back now.
Yeah. And it's basically, we called it Sandman's Shotgun Fix or something like that. And it tightens the spread on shotguns and, you know, beam splitter equipped laser weapons and that kind of thing.
Because these things just don't spread that much in real life.
Well,
I guess there are no beam splitters in real life, but there are shotguns.
Yeah, there are shotguns, and we did a little bit of research and found out that while shotgun pellets do tend to spread, you know, unless you've got your barrel sawed off so short that the ends of the shells stick out, the spread is actually fairly moderate, because they do use shotguns with buckshot shells for hunting large game like deer and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. That's why they call it buckshot, I think. And, you know, like trying to shoot a, you know, 200-pound deer from, you know, like 50 or 60 yards away with the kind of spread that is represented in this game, you would never hit it.
Yeah, you might actually miss a full-size deer.
Yeah, you might actually miss a full-size deer. Okay, let's try this out. That's pretty cool.
And pretty effective.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe we'll have to try this out for a little while just to see how it goes. So anyway, we did a little bit of work on the barrel characteristics. I wonder why everything's so missing here on this table. This table's usually full of stuff. Maybe I've been by here before or something.
Or it fell through the floor.
Yeah. Well, usually it doesn't, but anyway. Oh, now it's lunchtime.
What's for lunch, Chef Perry?
Well, let's see here. We could have a combination of mutt chops and mole rat chunks. What do you think?
You know what? Now we know why he drinks so much.
Yeah. Okay, well. Let's see here. Well, we got a loose 10mm round. Wow, I'm finding a lot of shotgun shells all of a sudden. What's the deal with this thing? Oh, okay. You can reload it and it holds 20 charges, eh?
Yep.
Okay. I wondered how that worked. It works differently than a standard laser musket, right?
A lot differently.
Yeah. Like, I could imagine that this weapon, just because of its... Oops, okay, I guess we can't carry that. Just because of its firing capabilities and characteristics. That's okay, it must be just about time to have another beer anyway, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, where are we at here? Oh yeah, right, ice cold. Need I for ice cold. Ice cold Gwyneth Stout.
Yum.
Okay. Well, that'll be enough to maybe pick up a couple more items here. Oh, look, a PB&J sandwich and a beer is just worn off, so I drank that beer just in time. Oh, okay, well, we can't pick that up yet.
Shouldn't have taken that bucket.
Yep, we'll have to drop the bucket, but that's okay, we'll come back for it. Okay, we'll, the steel bucket or something, right?
Metal bucket, I think.
Metal bucket. Yeah, metal bucket. Okay, we'll drop the metal bucket. Okay, and then we'll head on back to the camp and we'll dispose of some of this stuff that we've picked up. So yeah, basically this thing, you know, looks like almost like a sawed-off shotgun version of the laser musket, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll have a look at it on the workbench, but I think that the things that you can do with it are extremely limited, right? If anything at all. Okay, well, we can break that down, and we can break that down, and those. I'm saving all of the guns and other metal items because, yeah, it doesn't even appear, right? Like, I can't even look at it on the workbench. So basically it
is what it is.
It is what it is. It remains in the form that you found it in forever. Anyway, like I was saying, I pick up these metal items because because of the lack of availability of other building materials, I tend to build the fence around this location using chain link fence, right?
Yep.
And so the more steel that you have, then the more fences you can build. And of course, I don't think I've scrapped everything at this. Maybe I have scrapped everything I want to scrap at this location. I can't remember now. Yeah, for some reason you can't scrap the pumps at this location like you can at some of them, right? So yeah, I have scrapped everything here. Might be fun to have some kind of building project for this location too. I'm not even sure what this location is capable of as far as building goes. But you know how at the Red Rocket Express thing we did the wonderful skyscraper?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I wonder what we could do here.
I guess you'll have to see what the build limit is. You could even build yourself a spiral staircase up into the sky and then see how tall it goes.
Yeah, well, I'd have to get enough resources to be able to do that, though, because the amount of building materials here is a bit limited, right? Because I'm not connected to anything right now. Like, I don't have this... I don't think I even have... Okay, I do have local... No, I don't have local leader yet. But I do have 6 charisma now, so I could probably pick that as the next time I level up, right?
Yep.
And then I'll be able to start connecting my settlements with each other and sharing resources and that kind of thing. And then we can start playing around, having some fun with, like maybe this location just for the fun of it, just to see what we can do. But in the meantime, we'll just continue to pick up everything that isn't nailed down here.
Doing it the old school way.
Well, you know what? Wow, how'd that happen?
That looks extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, where did that dog even come from?
Bethesda, man. It's just a Bethesda game.
There's that bucket that we couldn't pick up before. No, I can't. Yeah. There, now I can pick up that ashtray. And for those of you who may be wondering why I would pick up that ashtray, well, you need those. You need the ceramics to make electrical conduits, right? Okay, so we've covered this area now. We'll grab that. There must have been an explosion in here, and there things are scattered around, and that's probably how that dog got there, because it looks like this tripwire is tripped, and this car looks like it blew up. And there's often there's actually almost always a mine, like a frag mine planted underneath this car, right? So,
maybe the dog set it off and got launched into the stairs.
Or the super mutants on their way through, you know?
Yeah, well, didn't you see a flash or something?
Yeah, I heard an explosion and saw a flash over in this direction, so... Okay, well...
Enemy ahead.
Yep, I see him. He doesn't seem to be extremely... Okay, let's see how this works. Oh. It takes a second or two to get it ready. Right? It's like you have to prime it or something?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a bit of a delay on it.
Yeah.
But it seems to be effective.
Yeah, once it gets going. Well, we'll take the Raider armor pieces because they're made out of metal. Wow.
Another grease gun.
Dead Raiders all over the place. Yeah, you find grease guns on Raiders now almost as often as you find lever action shotguns, right? Oh, I fell off. Damn
you
it,
fell off again.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Tightrope walking across a fallen streetlight while hammered is hard work.
Yeah, that's right. I just jumped the last little bit there this time. Okay, how are we doing for... we're almost at our max capacity again here. Picking up too much stuff.
Well, it's not like you don't have a use for it, though.
Yeah, that's true. I just kind of figured that the laser machine gun would be a little bit slow to get started in these close confines, right?
Although, to be fair, they do take a minute or two to stand up, right?
Yeah. But just the same, I just feel more comfortable using a shotgun at point-blank range like this, right? It just works better.
I wonder how the damage output compares too, because I think double barrels hit pretty hard, don't they?
Yeah, actually, as far as the vanilla weapons go, double-barreled shotguns are one of the more powerful lower-tiered weapons, right? Their main drawback, of course, is that you can only fire them twice before you could have to reload. Okay, well, we'll head back to the old settlement here, and we'll have to unload, and then we'll have to sleep a little bit, because it looks like it's getting to be nighttime out.
Can't have any vampire attacks, after all.
Yeah.
That would be incredibly nasty.
Yep. Well,
Probably fatal.
Especially because they get a cheap shot at your back, too, right? No, like, it's pretty rough. When something like that powerful can just spawn directly behind you in your back pocket and get a free attack before you even know they're there. And I think Chef Perry has enough problems to deal with without adding vampirism to the list.
Yeah, that would complicate some of his favorite hobbies too, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which... Oh yeah, that's pesky nicotine addiction thing again, huh? Yeah, I'm going to run out of booze here pretty soon too, because I'm not finding it as fast as I'm drinking it, actually. Okay, well, get one of those. And we can cook up some squirrel bits that I guess I found.
Some butt chops.
Yeah. And you know what? That fancy automatic laser musket, I think I'll favorite it. We'll hang on to that for a bit, just because it looks like it's kind of fun.
Alright, and we should take this opportunity to pause for a minute.
Okay.
And we're back.
Yes. And, so how are them super hot potato chips?
They're mildly spicy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, they smelled pretty wicked.
They're the hot ones Pringles.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a couple of addictions to look after here, because we're now suffering some debuffs due to alcohol addiction and nicotine addiction.
Sounds like you need a drink.
Well, I've got some of ice cold Bob Rob's best moonshine, of course, and you know, we can always have a smoke. But I'm going to have to find some more booze here pretty soon, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you're desperate. You're needing your fix.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll have a quick drink of water before we continue on here. And maybe we'll have a quick smoke as well.
Get yourself all buffed up.
Yep. Well, get rid of the debuffs anyway, right? And you can also interrupt this animation without any ill effects, right?
Yep.
Just by entering the menu or something like that. If you don't want to sit there and wait for him to, you know, puff on that cigar 4 times and then throw it away, kind of thing.
Yeah, he just inhales that cigar, right?
That's right. Okay, well, I guess we better get the gun ready and get out here.
You gotta have the lung capacity of a Olympic sprinter in order to be able to inhale a cigar that fast.
That's right. Nobody can smoke like Chef Perry smokes. So anyway, we're alarm clock, that's good stuff. Scoped 38 special pistol. And it looks like the feral ghoul that lives in this place already came out and got shot. Because there doesn't seem to be anybody around now, and I can't unlock that door. Because I don't have any lockpicking. Well, there's another box of cigars, so I'm not going to run out of cigars anytime soon. Okay, let's see here if we have to sneak up on anybody. I see a dead ghoul with his head stuck in the pavement.
Yep.
I wonder why they do that. They do that in other games too. Damn it, I'm out of room already. Oh well, guess we'll drop the Raider chest piece. Only get 1 piece of metal out of it, and it's too heavy anyway.
Chef Perry just needs to hit the gym is all.
Yeah. Well, Chef Perry is not really very strong because he's more of a science-y guy, right?
Yeah.
So even buffed with the alcohol, his strength is only 5. Because most of his... oh, there's the other one. Most of his abilities were kind of focused on, you know, like the intellect, right?
Yep.
Well, okay, we'll grab that stuff. Can't pick that lock.
Does it bother you?
It bothers me a little bit, yeah.
Don't you just wonder what's inside?
Buff tats. There we go. There, now we can carry a whole bunch more stuff. Of course, now we have to drink a bunch of water.
Oh, you remembered the buff tats.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it gives us a +6 buff to strength, right? Because I tinkered with the drug effects a little bit, too, because I figured that, you know what, when you're faced with the possibility of addiction and all that kind of stuff and all of the other negative side effects, then maybe there should be some actual real incentive to use the drugs. And also mainly because, you know, like in an emergency when you're almost dead and you need some additional health quickly, well, the vanilla 65 max health buff that you got from buff tats and other similar drugs just wouldn't cut it, right? Because that amount of additional health would disappear, you know, with one shot from a shotgun or something, right? So it wasn't really, you know, I wanted to do something that would be noticeably helpful.
Because otherwise, why would you take it?
Because otherwise, why would you take it? Exactly. Okay. let's see here. Racetrack advertisement. So we just added another thing to our map.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll grab the empty bottles. Might have to wait and come back and pick up a bunch of this stuff afterwards because I can't be going back to unload every 5 minutes either, right? As it is, I'm going to have to make... Well, you see what I mean? That's a bit of a drawback, right?
Yep. The initial windup.
Yep. I think that because of that, I might just abandon this. Geez, they're coming out of the woodwork here.
Although it hasn't resulted you in getting hit more than you typically would have, except for that first hit.
Well, except that these guys
Because they all hit you in the back.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I prefer a weapon that fires a little more quickly, I think. So I suspect that I'm probably going to, you know, like, just go away from that weapon now. Having tried it out a little bit, I don't like it.
Nope.
It doesn't work well for me. It would be better if it would just shoot as soon as you pulled the trigger, right?
Yep. Or if not, using it as a shotgun at point blank range and you had some distance between you and the enemy.
Well, the problem is, though, that this is kind of a, you know, like a circular thing, because this weapon is really not much use. You know, like that automatic laser musket, it's not really much use for anything other than a shotgun or the same kind of applications that you would use a shotgun in.
Ah.
And yet it takes almost as much time to wind up as it does to spin up like a minigun or something like that, right?
Yep.
Which, to my mind at least, makes it not really a very desirable weapon.
Ah, well.
Okay, well, let's see here. We're almost at the max again. We might have to drop a couple of things if I'll just pick up stuff that's, you know, like particularly valuable from this point on. We should find out what we've got going on here too. Okay, so now we need to take some antibiotics.
Because you got insomnia from getting hit by a ghoul.
Yeah.
Because insomnia is a contractable illness.
Apparently, yeah.
I wonder where I contracted mine from.
I don't know. There are no feral ghouls here. Ice. Cold.
Ice cold everything.
Purified water. Okay, well. Okay, we'll grab the drugs. What we got here? Okay, we'll grab the ammunition. What's Rika got? She's got a bit of ammunition in a stim pack. And a 45 caliber lever action rifle.
You didn't want the lever action shotgun on the floor?
Well, I can't carry it. I'm almost out of carrying capacity here again already. Which is crazy. And my booze moonshine just wore off, so now I'm going to lose a strength buff, right? I'm in a bad way here.
Yeah, you got to get back and deposit some stuff. Picks up Noodle Cup, gets over encumbered.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to have to just leave all this and head back.
Just so that you can deposit some stuff.
Yeah. Looks like I'm going to have to eat something now, too.
Noodle Cup.
Grilled radstag, how about that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We'll drop off that automatic laser musket too, because it's heavy and it doesn't really something that I'm very likely to use for any great length of time. It's more of a novelty thing, right?
Yeah, true. And you already got something that fires that kind of bullet. Or that kind of ammo, rather.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll Break that stuff down. And you can hear that generator chugging away in the background there, eh?
Yep.
We'll drop off some ammunition. And we'll just drop that off. Never mind that, favoriting that thing.
Yeah, you can give it to a settler later.
Yeah, I wonder if a settler would even use that.
Just got to take their other guns away.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they might not even know what to do with it, right?
Well, surely it wouldn't crash the game or anything, this being a Bethesda game and all.
Yeah, well, no, probably not, but... You know, you just never know, right? Anyway, let's get back at it here. I'm in bad shape now. I need to have a smoke. I need to have a drink.
Gotta have all the good stuff.
Yeah, actually, I wonder if I've got any thing that fixes that. I do, actually. I think this fixes it. Yep.
There you go.
Chef Perry's hangover cure.
Cures his smoking tick, too.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll stick to picking up the small stuff. We won't pick up the weapons and armor anymore because... Or the fire extinguishers because they add up too quickly. Cans are good things to pick up. They weigh next to nothing and they still get you metal and stuff like that, right? Some more smokes. Can't open that lock. Then we'll grab all these shopping baskets. Whoop, I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. Gotta go this way.
And grab all the good stuff.
Yep. Well, you know what? The clipboards don't weigh much either. And, you can get wood from them.
Yeah, so you can make some shack steps and a couple of walls.
Yeah, as well as springs and that kind of stuff too, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. Alright, well, I think we're done with the surface here. And we're not too badly overloaded, so maybe we can just go on in here and clean out the College Square station. It's funny, but going into places, it doesn't take that long to load. It's just coming back out.
Yep.
I guess the outer world takes a really long time to load.
It makes you wonder why they even unload it, though, too. I mean, think about how much RAM this machine you're on has.
Yeah, I know. I could probably load the entire game and every cell in it. And, you know, never have to unload it ever, right?
Yep, but then they still make you unload it anyways.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what somebody needs to make someday, if it's even possible. I imagine it would be quite a task, but a Fallout 4 loading optimizer to use more RAM.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, I think most people don't run a computer like the one I've got. So...
Well, the game wasn't designed for a computer like what you've got either.
Well, no, it was basically designed for people running potato computers, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Because it had to run on consoles, right?
But I would imagine that I would not have been able to afford to buy this computer that we built because building a computer like this, and like buying the parts and building it yourself, probably cost about half as much as just buying a computer like this would, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the savings are, but it used to be quite significant back in the old days when I first learned, and so I just kept doing it and passed the savings on to the people that I know. And I don't know if the savings are that much now. I guess I'd have to look again and actually see what a pre-built costs, because I'm not even sure. I haven't looked in years. But it was quite significant at the time. That was like over a decade ago now. That was a decade and a half ago.
Yep.
That I built my first machine. But yeah, and even when you can't save on price, you can get the parts that you want.
Yeah, customization is definitely a thing too, right?
Yeah, and then you also can make sure that you don't get skimped on things like the power supply, right? Because obviously you want a good power supply, because if you don't have a good power supply, then it'll blow and possibly take parts of your machine with you.
Yeah.
Because they tend to skimp on things like that on pre-builts, or at least did in the past.
Yeah, well, building it, like yourself, basically, you can...
You're not building for profit.
You can hand pick all the parts that you want. And, like get the best performing computer for your buck, right?
And one that will last.
Ooh, there's another legendary feral ghoul. Let's shoot him in the leg a whole bunch of times, too. With that, he ran out of health before he got crippled.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I like the ammunition capacity of the pistol, too, right? Poisoner's Raider chest piece. Okay, well, that's not really a terribly valuable thing. Because when you change this to a rifle or to an automatic weapon, it also reduces the ammunition capacity, right?
Ah.
So, I think the automatic version has like an ammunition capacity of 24 or something like that. And I know that my rifle there, my Institute rifle, only has a capacity of 24, right?
Yep.
So I would imagine that if I were to invest a few perks in Gunslinger, then this weapon could become pretty potent, right?
Probably, yep. That's another thing too, for certain, is building your own desktop is a hell of a lot cheaper than an equivalent gaming laptop as well.
Yeah.
Because laptop form factor, you pay like double for everything.
Well, yeah, because everything is kind of squished down to fit within a much smaller case, right?
Yeah, and it's all both custom made and proprietary, right?
Yeah.
Because they got to figure out how to fit it all in that little case. Well, I guess they're not so little. Like gaming laptops tend to be big, thick, chunky things that are like 2 inches, 3 inches thick, right? But
well, I imagine they're still not like the 60-pound monster that I have sitting on the table here, though.
No. Definitely not.
Well, I can't unlock that door, so I'll have to wait till I find a key somewhere or something.
Sounds like more's coming too, maybe.
Yeah, wow, hey, right behind him.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah, here comes another one too. Uh-oh, my buff tats have worn off. Well, torso has the highest chance to hit, so we'll just aim for the center mass here.
And go bang bang. The ultra dramatic slow-mo torso shot.
Yeah.
You totally got to give this thing the sniper barrel.
No.
Imagine how goofy it would look.
It would ruin it, because then it takes away, like I said before, it would reduce
Take away
your,
the ammo capacity. Yeah,
your ammo capacity. Like, I'm not even sure that I'd be able to queue up all of the shots that I could do in VATS without having to stop and reload partway through.
That would be interesting to see.
And also, you know, like, I just wouldn't have the effectiveness in, right, for the way that I want to use this gun. I would put the sniper barrel on a laser weapon if I wanted to use it as a long range sniper type weapon, right? Which is something that if I found a laser weapon that had, for example, the Instigator legendary on it, I think Arturo actually sells one too that has the Instigator legendary.
Yeah.
Which does double damage on the first shot on a target that has full health.
Yep.
Well, then that would definitely be worth it to use as a sniper weapon, like as a sneak sniper weapon, because then you'd get a damage buff for attacking from ambush as well, and those things stack, right? So, you know, like a sniper weapon with the Instigator legendary is actually extremely deadly. How do we get in that train? Must be a doorway on the other side.
I was just going to say, imagine what that thing would look like with the sniper barrel dangling off your hip.
I don't know. I think that it would you know, look pretty funny, but well, I can unlock that suitcase.
Got it.
Oh, I got a fishing rod. How would you put a fishing rod in that suitcase? Wow.
Maybe it's a collapsible fishing rod.
Yeah, maybe it is. It's a collapsible one or a two-piece one. Oh, good. There's some antibiotics. I used to have a fishing rod that actually just came apart in two pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, about halfway down, or a little bit more than halfway down toward the reel end, right? And all it was it just a socketed thing, right? I guess the idea being that it, you know, was actually a little. The telescoping fishing rods tended to be a little bit less flexible and a little more fragile.
Ah, so the socketed one wouldn't have that problem.
That's right. And I also had just a one-piece fishing rod as well. That was my first one when I was a kid, and it had a closed reel on it too, because open reel. Reels can kind of tend to get tangled if you don't know what you're doing.
Yep.
And, you know, for a kid, a closed reel rod is probably the best. But that one was also quite a bit shorter than my my two-piece one was too, right? But it caught fish just fine too. Uh-oh, well. Time to abuse drugs some more. Now I'm thirsty and I'm addicted to Buff Out.
Nothing a hangover cure won't solve.
Yep. That's why we make them. Okay, we need water. Ice cold purified water.
Really chugging back the water.
Yep. It's a thirsty day today. Because we need to be able to keep picking stuff up, right?
But not that metal bucket.
No. Well, like I said, I'll pick up the ball peen hammer. Okay, this is the key I need in order to get into that other place. And I can also open this door with that key, too.
Yeah, considering you can't actually pick locks.
Yeah. Some more Buff Out. Dead raider. See, it looks like the raiders either got invaded by the feral ghouls, or they came in here and discovered feral ghouls or something. And for the most part, it looks like the raiders came out second best in that encounter. Unlock another suitcase.
Nice.
I wonder what a surgical tray is doing in a suitcase. On a subway train.
Well, you know, I guess back street surgeries, back alley surgeries.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just some of those little mysteries in life, right? Well, I can certainly see why people like to use VATS, because it's certainly much easier and more carefree than manual aiming is. Oh. Uh-oh, there's somebody coming up behind me. Oh. There. One thing I will say is that VATS is extremely useful for killing aggressive melee enemies, because it's extremely hard to aim manually at such enemies when they get in real close.
Yep.
Whereas with VATS, it kind of slows them down a little bit.
It takes care of that problem for you.
Yeah. And I'm not ashamed to use VATS in Fallout New Vegas, that's for sure. I use the VATS quite a lot in that game.
I use it for the sniping trick, mostly.
Yeah. Well, I use it for, you know, like close to medium range fighting too, right? Okay. Anything else interesting in here? Not. Oh, yeah. There.
You know, I think it's a lot more effective in that game too.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that if you are using a really slow weapon, sometimes an enemy, if they're close enough, can get in and attack before you fire off all your attacks. But usually in Fallout New Vegas, when you queue up a bunch of attacks in VATS, they all go before your enemies get their turn, right?
Yeah, because once you start, you just keep going.
Yeah. Boy, lots of Nuka-Cola Quantums in here today. I could turn those into ice-cold Nuka-Cola Quantums.
There you go.
Now let's see what's in this thing. I think we've killed off all the ghouls now in here. And now that we have the key for this door, it's actually not illegal to open this door. Remember, it was highlighted in red before?
Yep.
And you get a Live and Love magazine that allows companions to a damage buff if you happen to have companions. In this game, I'm particularly against it, but I guess some people are not.
Yeah, people love their friends getting them into trouble and getting them killed.
Yeah. Well, just like I was playing a side play earlier today.
Sweet.
And I was going through the former hideout of the railroad with Deacon.
Yep.
And we came around the corner, and there was like 4 synths around the corner. And of course, you know, like I was sneaking, but Deacon isn't very stealthy, I guess, for some reason. So they all turned around and started shooting. So I went to duck back around the corner to take cover. And the first thing I did was bump into Deacon, who was in the way, right?
Yeah, because he's right up your ass.
So I didn't get killed, but I got, you know, shot to pieces down to about probably 25% health.
Yep.
before I was able to get around Deacon and then around the corner, right? Because I had all these multiple synths all shooting at me at the same time.
Well, then was it really even you that they were shooting at, or was it Deacon?
Well, I was in front of Deacon, so even if they were shooting at Deacon, like, a lot of the shots hit me anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, guilt by association.
Yeah, thanks, asshole.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like companions. Anyway, I think we'll pause here.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and we made it out of College Square Station alive. Ooh,
yep.
There's a ghoul I haven't looted yet. So we'll cruise on over here and we'll get a pat on the back from Rys, about as much as anybody ever does get a pat on the back from him on.
Yeah, more like a kick in the nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, he's grumpy. And then we'll talk to Paladin Dance briefly, too, because then he's going to have another job. One that's a little bit longer term, right?
Yep.
Okay, where is Rys? He's over here. Hey, look at that.
That location better be cleared out.
Affirmative.
Really? Maybe you're not as worthless as I thought. Now report to Paladin Dance. He said he had a mission for you. When you're ready for another op, you know where to find me.
Yep, okay. Okay, Paladin Dance, what do you got for me?
I've got another mission for you, if you're ready.
Okay.
Ready. Outstanding. Over the years, the Brotherhood has sent several recon teams to the Commonwealth. The last squad went in 3 years ago. They never reported back. Officially, they're missing, presumed dead.
Oh,
Was there a rescue mission?
No. The Brotherhood doesn't have the resources or the manpower to conduct a search like that. Everyone who signs up for a recon mission knows the risks. Our lives depend on our training and on each other. But if a team is lost, we honor those who give their lives in the line of duty. We have a responsibility to find out what happened to them, if we can.
Okay.
Where should I begin?
Their insertion point was in the hills near Malden. Survey the area and establish a search pattern. Monitor your radio for distress signals. All recon teams are issued distress pulsers that put out a short-range homing beacon. If you can acquire a signal, you should be able to trace it to its source.
Okay. Anyway, that is a story of incompetence as far as I can tell.
Oh,
The story of the previous recon team, the Lost Patrol. Because when you listen to their holotapes that they left behind, well, the first thing that they do as soon as they run into a little bit of trouble is they split up and basically abandon one another.
yep.
Right? And you know, so there's the dead guy at the battle site, of course, and they self-destructed all their power armor. And then you go to the National Guard Training Center, and there's that knight there that was told to hold that location at all costs, but what strategic value was holding that location? Why wouldn't you just come along with us and we'll try to find someplace safe to hole up?
Yep.
Right? Anyway, we're going outside, so I guess we need to pause again.
Okay. And we're back.
Yes, and I think this is where we're going to leave Chef Perry for this episode. And I guess next time around it'll be someone else's turn in the slot of A Day in the Life.
All right.
This might be Ella Stone again, if I remember correctly, because I think there's 3 different things that we're kind of doing in this slot. But we'll figure that out later. For now, I'm going to take Chef Perry back over to the Cambridge Red Rocket and unload some junk and...
yeah, you've got a lot of it.
Do a little bit of crafting and maybe start building something there.
Nice.
Just for the fun of it. But if I can get just a little bit more XP, then I can get local leader, and then maybe I can start connecting some of my settlements together.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, because I don't think I have that yet. I don't think I spent one on that. Yeah, not yet. It's about time. Anyway, until next time.
I'm RecV5.
And I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.